Your written answers talked a lot about sustainable mobility and climate neutrality, but can I put it to you that your answers here on the direction of the aviation industry are actually taking us in a different direction? You seem to be kind of hiding behind, as a sort of a magic wand, the Single Skies Agreement as a panacea to emissions, even going so far as to saying we need more capacity. Now, you know, you say you accept the emissions target, but you've effectively ruled out using taxation as a method of achieving this. You've said, oh, you have to look into it. Are you not aware that the Commission did look into it, commissioned a report last year which stated that an aviation tax would cut emissions without affecting jobs or GDP? So why would we support a Commissioner who lags behind where thinking is already at? You said you promote rail. But how can you promote rail when you're subsidising aviation? How can they compete? No ticket tax, no fuel tax. Why aren't we outlawing aviation flights between Brussels and Amsterdam, for example? People should be using rail. And, you know, I'd like you to answer that. I'd like you to answer the questions you were asked about workers' rights, about the race to the bottom, because you kind of hide it behind it by saying, oh, it's about changes in innovation. Are you not aware that many of the airlines are deliberately using fake contracts in order to drive down wages and conditions?
Well, to be honest, I'm not hiding behind anything. I wasn't more specific because I know you know better than me on all these practices, which are not good practices, and you can imagine that all this needs to be addressed, and I'm completely committed to that because we need a very well-functioning working environment for aviation in order to continue to be profitable and successful. Now, on the emissions, I will say it again. I think, and I'm as a matter of principle, I'm considering that taxation is just a part of the solution. I'm not saying I'm excluding taxation. If you want, I can commit and say that I won't exclude taxation. It's absolutely obvious. I said already that there are member states which are applying already a tax on kerosene, and very well. We'll see how this functions for them. We'll discuss in the College of Commissioners, because this is an important decision to take. Because of the global aspect of aviation, we have to keep in mind also the competitiveness of the sector at the global level. I know some people would prefer or consider that aviation at this stage should not be, well, supported or prioritized or something, and we give all the priorities to the train. I absolutely understand that. I said, and I commit on the fact that my focus will be how can we develop and make train more affordable with lower prices, because we don't need to take a flight from Brussels to Amsterdam, but when you look at the cost of the price of the ticket, then you will see that it's not such a low price of the ticket in the train neither. So we have to find, through a combination of measures, to achieve the reduction of the emissions in aviation. And then I already said fuel efficiency, fuel savings, because that's why I'm talking about a single European sky, because we need to make fuel savings. Of course, fuel efficiency, we have the Clean Sky undertaking. Let's look what is the possible technology achievements so that we can achieve something there. And then sustainable alternative fuels, and then taxation, all it's on the table. I don't want to hide on anything, and I commit to work on all of them to reduce emission in aviation and to make rail a more attractive way of transport for people and goods.
Sorry, but it doesn't really answer the question. You say you won't exclude taxation, but that's very different than positively utilising the benefit that taxation can be in changing policy in this area. We have the scientific and research evidence to support that. Now, I know in your written statement you talked about supporting a review of the Energy Tax Directive, but that's going to take 5, 10 years because it needs unanimity. There are at least 13 member states now that would be prepared to introduce this measure. Are you, as a Commissioner, going to spearhead the delivery of multilateral or bilateral arrangements in that, to lead by example? Because that's what we need for the climate and for, I suppose, our European Union going forward. And it's the same regarding workers' rights, which is not just workers' rights, it's about critical aviation safety, which has a key impact. Because if you're dealing with staff who are tired, who are worn out, who are on fake contracts, who are flying when they're really sick and shouldn't be flying, passenger safety is impacted. And this is a ploy being utilised by the airlines. Would you even condemn that and call it what it is? Not a byproduct of competition, a deliberate ploy by low-cost carriers at the expense of their workforce.